Isang bulan na mo ron chumena matagni ko ni rongon ni bibo maro tagi ke misa po. Niya na isang bulan na sero ko ni sana. Churi kino na mo ron chumay. Tu na sile. Isang bulan oyo Mr. Ben.
Kela po?
Na magkikira ni bibo mataka mo ni chikira mo ron buka may na ono kinadiwa na Bula FM.
Ang pala sile.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. In this bulletin, bail ruling for officers involved in the alleged brutal assault of escapee expected on Friday. A bridge to the future, Waivaka villagers to benefit from new suspension bridge. And the International Monetary Fund says Fijian economic growth has been exceptionally strong. A ruling on the bail application for the officers allegedly involved in the brutal assault of escapee Yowane Benedito 2 years ago is expected on Friday. Police officers Sanita Langenasivi, Chonan Davonu and Semisi Nanduka, along with soldier Filimoni Datimaimbula, are each to be charged with unlawful and indecent assault. Their lawyer, Mehabub Raza, asked the court for an explanation as to why his clients are being remanded, and he has applied for bail. Prosecution lawyer Assistant DPP Michael Dennerly objected to bail, stating it's a serious matter and of public interest. The four have been further remanded. Meanwhile, the fifth accused military officer, Pita Matai Ravula, is expected to appear in court tomorrow. He and Davonu are each charged with 1 count of rape and 1 count of manslaughter. A 54-year-old man is in police custody for allegedly raping a 7-year-old girl on Sunday afternoon. The incident took place in Atovi Tailevu, and the victim is currently admitted at the Colonial War Memorial Hospital. The suspect is alleged to have lured the victim under the pretext of buying her some sweets. Police investigation continues. Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama has urged the people of Namosi to turn their backs on the voices of division and work together for the benefit of every Fijian. Bainimarama made the statement while opening a suspension bridge at Waivaka village in the interior of Namosi this morning. Ali Kimbia was in Waivaka today and files this report.
The worry about the vulnerability of young children of Waivaka village trying to cross the river is now over, with the opening of this new suspension bridge constructed at a total cost of $320,000.
As well as making this river crossing safe for our young people, the new bridge has already improved the lives and transformed the economic prospects of everyone in the village. The sick and the elderly now have better and quick access to medical assistance.
Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama has assured the people of Namosi that the Fiji First government will continue to fulfill their promise to deliver and to serve.
As I keep saying, I will not rest as Prime Minister until every Fijian, no matter where they live, enjoy the same services as people living in our cities and living in our towns. It will obviously take time to fulfill this ambition.
Village headman Tombia Miliano says the new bridge will benefit the villagers for many years to come.
Ever since it was damaged by flooding in 2004, we have to worry about kids crossing the river and going to school. But now, we will not worry about them, and the bridge will help farmers to transport their produce to the other side.
The bridge will not only assist the students of Waivaka, as it is also a bridge for the future, reconnecting them to the world after a gap of more than a decade. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The Fiji Cancer Society finally released funds to the Walk On Walk Strong Kids Fiji Foundation. The funds have been frozen in their account for the past 2 years. $519,000, 343 was handed over to WOWS this afternoon. The funds were raised by WOWS to assist children living with cancer and were being held in the Fiji Cancer Society bank account. However, the account was frozen following a dispute between the two parties.
So thank you, the public. Thank you, the people of Fiji, for believing in the vision and the mission of Walk On Walk Strong. We were not able to be here today if Fiji Cancer Society didn't believe on that. But listening to the song and the message that for the storm won't last too long, walk on and walk strong.
WOWS is currently supporting close to 50 children around the country who have some form of cancer or a life-threatening disease. The International Monetary Fund says the growth momentum of the Fijian economy has been exceptionally strong. And as Ritika Pratap reports, the IMF has forecast that this trend will continue in the years to come due to high levels of public investment.
The Fijian economy is currently enjoying the healthiest growth in its history, and the International Monetary Fund predicts the average growth will remain close to 4%.
Economy will enter its third year of growth above 4%. Last year, the revised GDP number came up at above 5%. This year, we expect growth to be at 4.3%, and we also see some moderation going on into next year, but growth will also remain very strong next year.
The IMF mission chief for Fiji, Roberto Guimarães, says growth this year is propelled by several factors. These include high levels of public investment, strong tourism earnings, strong remittances, lower oil prices, and robust credit growth.
Inflation should be close to about 2%, 2.5%, certainly below 3% in our projections, depending on whether you're looking at averages or you're looking at sort of where inflation will be at the end of the year.
Fiji's growth is subject to risks as well, and Guimarães says the very first risk is the slowdown in the Chinese economy.
That slowdown in China can have effects on Australia and New Zealand. I mean, there are strong ties related to exports from Australia and New Zealand to China, and that slowdown in China has had an effect on activity in Australia and New Zealand, and that can affect the growth outlook for Fiji.
Other risks include exposure to natural disasters. The IMF team has been in Fiji since October 15. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, WHO study reveals processed meat and red meat can cause cancer.
मेरा चांद मुझे आया है नजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर. छाया है नशा मेरे आंखों पर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर. रह जाए ना प्यासा मेरा प्यार, मेरे बाहों में भर दे मेरा यार, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर. है दोस्तों, मैं हूं जितेन शांडिल. आप रात के बाद हमारे साथ अब रफ्तार प्रोग्राम में 3 से लेकर रात 7 के बीच शामिल हो सकते हैं. मिर्ची FM, इट्स हॉट.
Processed meats such as bacon, sausages and ham can cause cancer, according to the World Health Organization. In a report released this week by the WHO's research agency, there is conclusive evidence that daily consumption of 50 grams of processed meat increased the chance of developing cancer by 18%. Maggie Boyle tells us more.
Moderation, they say, is key, and the recent WHO report that processed meats cause cancer raises that point to sizzle.
The research arm of the WHO has come out with a report looking at whether or not there are carcinogenic compounds that cause cancer in processed meat and red meat. And they've been looking at over 200 published studies and looking at what those studies say in terms of the possible risk. And what they've come up with is that there is conclusive evidence that there are carcinogens in processed meats.
Dr. Wendy Snowden stops short of saying let's halt meat consumption. She also clarifies that the evidence on red meat is inconclusive and requires further study. President of the Master Butchers Association, Gregory Yee, says, and I quote, "The report has been questioned by people in the meat industry all over the world. However, if the report is true, we believe the likelihood of the population in Fiji developing cancer by eating processed meats would be minimal, as the cancerous causing agent in these products are nitrates, adding that Fiji's population does not consume ham and bacon on a daily basis. These are relatively expensive products, and they would not be on the daily menus of Fijian households. We asked a few people that in light of the report, would it affect their food choices?
As a caterer, I normally don't encourage most of my customers to have processed meat, because most of the meat that I offer, I normally blend them and process them myself.
We have a lot of opportunities such as fresh fruits, vegetables that are available out there, and they are fresh, and I think they are the best choices for us.
I wouldn't want to get that risk of getting cancers or just because of the love of meat.
Sausages, bacon, ham, processed meats consumed in large quantities frequently can lead to an 18% increase in developing colon rectum cancer, according to the WHO. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Meanwhile, still on the topic of food, the Fiji Food Safety Association is being launched this evening. Akusita Tale is at the Suva Business Centre where the launching is happening. Tale, what exactly is the Fiji Food Safety Association?
Jackie, food safety is an integral part of food security, and this has been one of the main points that has been highlighted this afternoon at the launch of the Fiji Food Safety Association. And here with me we have the Communications Officer for the Association, Ms. Shika Rana. Ms. Rana, good evening. Thank you for having FBC News with you this evening. Now tell us, what's the main focus for the setup of the association?
Thank you so much. Our focus is to integrate the local know-how with the international standards and the best practices in the food, hygiene and industry. And we aim to integrate and deliver the quality products for Fiji food through Fiji Food Association and help the people of Fiji to be food compliant and food safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rana. Back to you, Jackie.
Thanks for that update, Ako. Fiji First General Secretary Ayaz Said Qayyum has questioned the opposition leader's declarations over the past 3 years. This comes after he was cleared by the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption of any breach of the political party's registration, conduct, funding and disclosures decree of 2013. Akusita Tale reports.
Of the committee itself.
Questions have been raised in regards to opposition leader Rote Mumukapa's declarations on 31st May 2013, 20th August 2014 and the 2nd of February 2015. Syed Qayyum claimed Rote Mumu declared $250,000 land and buildings on 31st May 2013. This, he assumes, is a Denison Road property in Suva. However, on 20th August 2014, her freehold land property was valued at $650,000 if it is the same property.
On 20th August 2014, she says 10 Denison Road is valued at $650,000. On 20th of August 2015, she says that the land and buildings is worth $168,000. Same land. A difference of approximately $450,000. As we all know, real estate in Fiji appreciates. It very rarely depreciates.
While Syed Qayyum has questioned which of Rote Mumu's declaration is correct, Opposition Administration Officer Migbado's declarations were also highlighted in regard to his shares in 2 companies.
In the same way, he has another company, McKay Bell Limited, where he said that his shares valued is at $8,000 because he holds $8,000 at par value of $1. Does he in his declaration show any assets?
In response, Migbados told FBC News he has yet to find out about the highlighted claims and will comment once he knows the details. He adds Rote Mumu will also have to do the same when she returns from overseas, and he is not in any capacity to comment on the opposition leader's declarations. Meanwhile, Registrar of Political Parties Mohammed Sanim is also overseas, but says he's not aware of Syed Qayyum's comments and will check on this matter later. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
To set the stage for a collaborative approach in Paris during the COP21 climate change meeting set for next month. That is the ultimate aim of the UNFPA-funded Creating Waves on Sustainable Development Goals meeting on Denarau Island this week. Madhyam Bolaitamana has more on the story.
To introduce the objectives of
The 16 Pacific Island health ministers convened in Nadi this morning to delve into the document that will be the voice for the region at the COP21 climate change meeting in Paris.
The combination of the long-term nature of climate change and the long life expectancy of children presents an issue of intergenerational equity. Each generation of children will be subject throughout their lives to the environmental challenge.
The presence of Her Royal Highness Princess Sarah Zayed of Jordan at the meeting has been the force behind their deliberations made over the past 2 days.
Together we have taken the standpoint of the Pacific's women, children and young people and worked first and foremost to see the present challenges and future hopes through their eyes. Because while everyone is impacted by the impositions of climate change, there exists...
From a Fiji perspective, harnessing the message at a platform like the COP21 and other global meetings on climate change will be stronger with the support of other nations in the region.
We just had the announcement of the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. This is an opportunity for Pacific leaders, Pacific ministers to come and look at the deliberations that have been done by the experts and take up a uniform Pacific voice on the importance of these issues to the international forums that we have around the world.
The meeting is hosted by the Fiji government and funded by the United Nations Population Fund to the tune of $500,000. Madium Bolaitamana, FBC News.
Work on the clearing of debris outside the burnt MH supermarket in Namboa Suva has started. Construction Equipment Hire Limited has the cleanup contract. Ellen Stalls has more.
Representatives from Carpenters, Suva City Council, the Ministry of Health, insurance companies and brokers, as well as the landowners, inspected the site this morning.
Basically just to update where everything was, where everybody was, and in terms of the safety of the site, etc. And as you can see, the demolition works are starting.
Large pieces of metal and iron were cleared, as well as some burnt items that were outside the building. The superstructure of the building, which was previously deemed unsafe, is one of the main reasons why the cleanup campaign has taken so long to get underway.
So the contractors are working together with engineers to ensure that that building superstructure is safe enough before the workers can actually start removing the buried debris.
Residents and businesses in the area have complained about the stench from the site since the supermarket burnt down 2 weeks ago. Construction Equipment Hire Limited Director Pile Gopal says they hope to have all the work done by the weekend.
The smelly items will go out by tomorrow. It's all done. And we might make a special arrangement with the landfill and the city council. People, inspectors will go together with it, make sure they bury all the food items, nobody starts snatching or something like that.
Meanwhile, the police have received reports from the National Fire Authority, but it's not known when the report might be released to the media. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
We turn to sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Jackie, and good evening. In sports after the break, we take a look at how preparations are coming along for the Melbourne Cup next week. And Shane Jurgensen resigns as national cricket coach. These stories and more coming up.
Imbula bina na turanga na marama na turbugi na ngone lewa. Imbula bina rangone. Kanu itaki ni mara taiti ronda bibingomi na bio liba ni Radio Fiji 1 na baibiti na bonga ni bianu yanu. Oya upio rotuanga na mni dauni bengravi. Na makia mo ina kita tiri karua moni tiki na barumbuka. Ene wasini ngone baru taki kilo mani koro. Ilutu na karumbu.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. First up tonight, national cricket coach Shane Jurgensen has resigned from his post only a year into the job. The Australian says that though it was a difficult decision to make, he is leaving the administration in good hands. Salendao Dakadaka reports.
Shane Jurgensen took up the role of national cricket coach late last year, and his appointment was deemed a turn in the right direction for Cricket Fiji. But the mentor has decided to call time on his 3-year contract.
It will be definitely a big loss.
knowing of Shane's caliber, his experience, what he brought into the country as far as cricket is concerned. But life moves on. Life is all about taking the good opportunities.
Jorgensen says he has decided to cut short his stay in Fiji due to personal reasons, but he is happy with what he has achieved so far.
Oh, look, it's been something that's on the back of my mind for a little while. I think with the senior men's, we've had a busy year with a number of different things, and it's more for personal reasons. It's just time for me to move on.
Jorgensen's final official engagement with Cricket Fiji will be guiding the national under-19 boys team to the 2016 World Cup in Bangladesh in January. Talent Odakadaka, FBC Sports.
Now, with the hype building for next Tuesday's Melbourne Cup, Rohit Deo joins us live now with a glimpse of what to expect with the race that stops the nation. Rohit, what do you have for us?
Well, Jamie, less than a week remains to the start of the biggest race on the calendar, and the hype is slowly building amongst the locals. The final list of contestants have not been finalized yet, as there's a couple of races still remaining to confirm the final list. But yes, one thing is for sure, and that is that we will have a new winner this year. The Melbourne Cup race this year has a prize purse of more than $6.4 million. We filed this report from earlier on today.
The Fiji futsal team named yesterday hopes to qualify for the World Cup for the first time. The side now has just over 3 months to prepare for the qualifiers that will be held in Tahiti. The team is hopeful of doing what the national under-20s and 23s have achieved in the last couple of years.
We thought to take this opportunity and build a formidable team which can qualify to the World Cup, create another history like our Vodafone National under-20 and under-23 teams have done.
In preparation for the World Cup qualifiers, the team will play 6 build-up matches in New Zealand next month. The Samoa Sevens rugby side will be in Fiji this week to compete in the Ovalau Sevens. This is Samoa's build-up to the Oceania Rugby Sevens Olympic qualifying tournament, which will be held in Auckland next month. And they can expect some tough encounters with the local Fijian sides, sure to provide some stiff opposition. Samoa expected to battle it out with Australia for that prize spot in Rio. The Wallabies camp have a positive feeling ahead of their Rugby World Cup finals clash against the All Blacks this Sunday. This report from Rugby Australia. The Rugby World Cup final kicks off at 5 a.m. on Sunday, and you can watch it live on Fbctv. That's your sports for tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
With the niche wedding market growing year after year, Tourism Fiji aims to make it easy and affordable for operators in the market to sell their products and services by organising Fiji's first consumer wedding show. The two-day expo will be held at the Shangri-La Fijian Resort in March next year, and registration is now open to anyone interested in getting married in Fiji, whether local or international. Tourism Fiji Director of Events Sally Cooper says the wedding show is designed to promote wedding services on offer for locals, former Fijians that now live abroad, as well as for international wedding parties. Another lovely day across Fiji. Suva and Savu saw some morning clouds and scattered showers, giving way to a fine afternoon. In the west, it continued to be dry. It was a tad bit cooler than yesterday in most centres. Lambasa the hottest at 32 and Savu the coolest at 28. Tomorrow will be like today, with a chance of clouds and scattered showers in the east and mainly sunny and warm in the west. And further outlook is for Friday, and it could bring some rain to eastern shores again, otherwise more great weather. And recapping the main stories tonight, bail ruling for officers involved in the alleged brutal assault of escapee expected on Friday. A bridge to the future, Waivaka villagers to benefit from new suspension bridge, and the International Monetary Fund says Fijian economic growth has been exceptionally strong. Our poll question for this week, we are asking, are you happy with the 7 hours given to use fireworks on Diwali Day? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply #FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Bye for now.